Hey guys, welcome back. Madman Club Betting Podcast. We are headed into week 9, and man, we got a good week on store for us. Games all week as we started last week with 49 or 50 straight days of football. It continues every single day going forward. But man, what a week we got coming up. Week number 9, it's flying by, almost over with, guys. This is terrible because being a football fan like we are, we hate to see it end. Man, I wish we could have it all year long. Of course we can't. But we're heading into week 9 of college football, week number 8 in the NFL. Once again, guys, we'll go back over, but last week kind of mixed on college football. NFL, great day. College football on the season. We are plus 40 units, 56.32%. NFL, 66.6% in the NFL, plus 48 units. Dog of the week, plus 19 units, 6 wins, 2 losses. My dog of the week last week lost. I apologize for that. I have done a deep dive, and I feel like I found us one this week that could pull that outright upset. That's what I think these dogs are capable of whenever I give them out. I really feel good about them when I do give them out. Last week was one of those odd occurrences where it was never close. They got blown completely out, lots of turnovers. Gave out a UTSA, the Road Runners, and North Texas stomped their guts out, and I lost that dog of the week. But guys, on the year, plus 107 units. And if you guys, which you guys should know, the ones that haven't, the ones that have just started following us, we do everything based on a unit play. If you're a $10 better, 1 unit is $10, 2 unit 20, 3 unit 30, etc. And normally our top play is about a 5 unit play. If you're $100 better, 1 unit's 100, 2 units 200, etc. That's how we play. So a $10 better is up over $1,000 through week 8, and a $100 better is up over $10,000 through week 8, week 7 in the NFL. As we begin our journey into week 9, and I've got a ton of games to get to. But first, let's get back to what we were talking about on our recap show earlier, and that's this coaching carousel. There's 4 teams, 4 of those major teams: Florida, Penn State, Virginia Tech, and Oklahoma State. Those are the bigger 4 out of all of them. The rest of them, Stanford, UCLA, Oregon State, Colorado State, UAB. But those 4 we'll chat a little bit more about. I like to dabble in some things and throw out some names and do my guessing as well. Let me know what you think. Who do you think should be Penn State's head coach moving forward? Who do you think should be Arkansas's coach, Florida's coach, Virginia Tech, or Oklahoma State? Those are the ones that I've picked out, a couple names that I think will apply. We'll start with Arkansas, and I really believe that Arkansas may consider Bobby Petrino. He is their intern right now, or interim head coach, right now, and has tons and tons of coaching experience. But I also think if I was Arkansas, to spend a little less money, because I know they're not at the top of that platform with the money being spent for football, you could reach out to James Franklin and get him at a discounted price, considering that Penn State's got to pay him anyway. You could bring him in, and that's a big name for Arkansas to get. So James Franklin or Bobby Petrino is the 2 I think that Arkansas should get. Guys, we're going to take a quick break. Make sure you smash that follow button. Thank you for everybody that follows us. Thank you for everybody that goes over to YouTube and checks us out and watches that podcast. Thank you for following us over on the podcast platform. Get over to madmanclub.com. Check us out over there. Get registered. All of our college plays, all of our NFL plays, and that Madman Dog of the Week every single week over at madmanclub.com. Smash the follow button over on the TikTok. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on X, Facebook. No matter where you come from or where you follow us at, we appreciate it. We want to say thank you. And don't forget, we are up 107 units to start the season as we end week 8 and start week 9 in college football. We'll be back in just a minute to talk a little more about some of these coaching changes as we move forward. Welcome back in, guys, as we finish talking a little bit about some of these coaches, where we think they end up. And also, keep this in mind, there could be some coaches that get plucked from the tree, as we know, from some of these other schools. So there may be other openings. For example, if Golesh goes somewhere from South Florida, there's an opening. If Matt Rule leaves Nebraska and takes a Penn State job, there's an opening at Nebraska. So this could snowball into a ton of open positions in college football. So that landscape should look a lot different by next year when we start looking at these coaches and who's coaching which teams. You know, we talked a little bit about Arkansas. James Franklin would be a good fit. That team down there, man, you could go down there and win 8 games a year and they'd be tickled to death. So that would be a good move. They're looking at Rhett Lashley as well from SMU. But I think it's going to come down to Bobby Petrino, and they'll probably reach out to James Franklin, and we'll see how that works out. Florida is another one. I think Lane Kiffin, you know, some of these guys give head fakes. Lane Kiffin, one of them, say, well, I'm not taking that job. I'm happy here. But we all know Lane Kiffin's done that before, so let's not rule out Lane Kiffin for the Florida job. But I'll be honest with you, I think the person who may take that job, who has definitely used programs as a stepping stone to move from one to another, and that's Drinkwitz out of Missouri. And he's done a hell of a job at Missouri, and I believe he could also do a good job at Florida. I really believe that he might be, I won't say the front runner, he's my prediction to be the next Florida head coach. Maybe I'm wrong. You let me know what you think. Shoot us over a comment. Let us know who you think might be Florida's next head coach. But I think he fits the style of play that Florida likes to see. Penn State, another big job open. John Summerall, Kurt Cignetti. Cignetti's name is off the table as he signed a huge contract with Indiana. I believe that the coach that's going to get that job is Matt Campbell out of Iowa State. I'm sorry. If you look at the job he's done at Iowa State, amazing, with a team that has been a doormat of that Big 10 or Big 12 forever. Iowa State's never had the talent or the pool to choose from as some of these other teams that they go up against, and they're always playing close. And that's a credit to Matt Campbell and his coaching staff. So I believe Matt Campbell could be that front runner for Penn State. Also, don't rule Matt Rule out. I just think if they hire Matt Rule, they're in the same position they were with James Franklin. They can't win the big game. So my prediction is Matt Campbell goes to Penn State. Oklahoma State, I really believe that Jim Knowles, the defensive coordinator, that would be a good fit for Oklahoma State. I think he'd make them a hell of a head coach. And let's move over to Virginia Tech. I'm going to make my prediction. I know the list is long. I've got 2 names that I think that they should reach out to, and also think that one of them will be the head coach. Just my prediction. Again, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Penn State, Florida, Arkansas, Oklahoma State, Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech's list: Dan Mullen, James Franklin, Manny Diaz, Golesh from South Florida, Jimbo Fisher, who's sitting getting paid right now from Texas A&M. He's got a really good agent. He's getting paid a bunch of money right now. I don't think that they're going to be able to get James Franklin. He does a hell of a job recruiting Virginia, but I just don't know if they're going to be able to get him based on what he's going to want and what they can afford to pay him. Two names come to mind that I really believe Virginia Tech should reach out to, and I also think that one of these is going to be the coach. Alex Golesh out of South Florida, man, he has done a hell of a job with South Florida, and I believe he could do the same thing at Virginia Tech. I think you could pay him a little less money than what you got to pay a lot of these other guys, which frees up money for transfers and NIL deals. The other one that I think they could reach out to, and I think with the right situation maybe get him, and he's coached in the ACC before, and that is Jimbo Fisher. Jimbo Fisher could absolutely turn the program around, and you may be able to get away with paying him a lot less money, $4 million a year instead of $8 million a year, because he's still getting paid by Texas A&M. Jimbo Fisher is also a hell of a recruiter, so I think he could go out into that 7-5-7 and start dragging those guys back into Tech like they did when Beamer was the coach back in the day. So my prediction is Alex Golesh or Jimbo Fisher, one of the two will be the next head coach at Virginia Tech. Again, my prediction. This is nothing I've heard. All I've heard, I have heard these names mentioned, but it's nothing that's been set in stone. This is just me reaching out or giving some of my predictions based on who I think would fit good and who I think Virginia Tech should get. If they don't make a big splash with the changes that the landscape of college football is going through right now over these next 4 or 5 years and these super conferences they keep talking about, if Tech does not make a big splash, they will get left behind. So they need to do it, and they need to do it right now. Enough about the college coaching carousel. Let's dig in. Let's cash some tickets this week as we dive into some plays for this weekend. And we're going to start this week with the NFL. 2 or 3 plays I really like this week in the NFL. We'll start out with Baltimore playing Chicago. Baltimore decimated with injuries. Got a bye week. Been sitting at the house, relaxing, getting healthy. Gives you time to take a deep breath, look at what's happened so far in the season. Chicago, these guys are taking turnovers and turning them into touchdowns weekly, and this is what's helping them win these games. However, I'm not impressed with Chicago when it comes to man-on-man, football-on-football. Take away the turnovers, they're not impressive. Baltimore opens up as a 6.5-point favorite this Sunday, coming off the bye week, being healthy, getting better. I think that the Baltimore Ravens start the season over right there this weekend against the Chicago Bears. The luck runs out. Turnovers stop. This weekend, 3-unit play. Baltimore minus the 6.5 against the Chicago Bears this weekend. Next one on the board, guys. Atlanta, fresh off a loss to San Fran. Miami, fresh off a loss to Cleveland. A blowout loss at that. Looked awful. And I mean awful. Tua is not playing well at all. The defense is horrendous. You can run on them, you can throw on them, you can do about whatever you want to on them. Atlanta opens up as a 7.5-point favorite. I watched Atlanta the last couple of weeks. They can really run the football. Robinson is a showstopper. He's the dude. However, Penix in a Minnesota game, they should have lost that game. He threw what should have been Minnesota should have been a pick six. Dropped it, nothing but green grass in front of him. That game would have been over. Atlanta would not have won that game, and then they lose last week to San Fran. Atlanta opens up as a 7.5-point favorite. I believe all of the bad news about Miami, and they keep talking about how terrible they are. Bet on bad news. Don't bet on good news. I'm taking Miami. This week, my play, Atlanta -7.5 versus Miami. 4-unit play. Take the Miami Dolphins at home, as bad as they are, to keep this game within the number and cover the spread. Take those Miami Dolphins and let's cash this ticket. Next one on the board, Carolina at home, playing the Buffalo Bills. They're catching 7.5. Buffalo should be running roughshod over the NFL. Their defense is absolutely awful. I think you can do whatever you want to on them. Carolina away from home is not as good. We've seen that. At home, Bryce Young plays a whole lot better. The team itself plays a lot better. The defense plays a lot better. Buffalo coming to town, laying 7.5 on Bryce Young at Carolina. Not this week. I really like the Carolina Panthers. Sunday afternoon, take the Carolina Panthers plus the 7.5 as a 3-unit play against the Buffalo Bills. Guys, when we come back, we're going to talk about some college football. We got several plays to get to this week, and also we got that Madman Dog of the Week this week, and I've looked long and hard, and I found us one I believe can win the game outright. So get ready when we get back in just a few minutes. Make sure you smash that follow button. Make sure you get over to madmanclub.com. All of our picks over there are college, NFL, Madman Dog of the Week. Check us out on YouTube. Get over to Facebook, X, Instagram. Get over to our TikTok page. Hit that like and smash that follow button. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Welcome back in, guys. College football, week number 9. Here we go. And we have got a ton of games to look at. We got some pretty good plays, we believe. Guys, again, we are plus 107 units on the year. We are officially 60.14% on all of our plays. We have give out a grand total of 138 games, 83 and 53, 2 pushes. 107 units, guys. So far, so good. Let's keep that train a-rolling. If you are tired of losing your bets, join that club. Join the Madman Club today, and we're going to get you to the window. We're going to cash some tickets, and we're going to start right now with game 1 on the board. Let's talk about Oklahoma State and Texas Tech. And the reason I want to talk about this game, if anybody's out there been paying attention, I think 2 things will happen in this game. 2 things for sure will happen in this game. Section 231, you know who I'm talking about. Section 231 will be ready for this game. Oklahoma State won't be, but Section 231 will. Texas Tech minus 38.5. Total sits at 56.5. It continues the same way every single week, and I believe this weekend's no different. 4 o'clock Saturday, take the Texas Tech Red Raiders minus the 38.5 in a blowout, and look for Section 231. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Look at them this weekend. Texas Tech minus 38 in a blowout, and that is a 2-unit play for Saturday afternoon in college football. Next on the board, South Florida and Memphis, and this sort of be a good one. And it should be a shootout, hopefully. Last week I told you guys South Florida and Florida Atlantic would be a shootout. Didn't quite get there. This one I believe will absolutely be a shootout. These 2 teams can score. Memphis, fresh off a loss to UAB as a 21-point favorite, got beat. They are 6-1. South Florida 6-1. Lost to Miami. Their only loss this season. They beat Boise. They beat Florida, and they've run off run off a couple wins in a row. So here we are, 6-1 versus 6-1. South Florida opened up as a 3.5-point favorite. That line has creeped down to about 3. You can still get a 3.5 out there if you want South Florida. 12 o'clock Saturday. I think it's a shootout. I think it's close. I think the game will come down to a field goal. Give me Memphis. 4-unit play on Memphis. Take the Memphis Tigers plus the 3.5 Saturday at noon. That's a 4-unit play. Let's cash this ticket. Indiana and UCLA. That line has opened up at 22 and has continued to creep up. Indiana should blow them out. Cignetti, they love to run the score up, and they will continue to score as long as they get an opportunity. I don't think this game will be close. I think UCLA's luck runs out. They've run off 3 in a row. Indiana, they may score a point or 2 on them, but Indiana covers the line easy. Indiana wins it by 5 touchdowns. Take Indiana Saturday minus the 22.5 against UCLA. Miami Hurricanes minus 28.5. Stanford, fresh off that win last week against Florida State. And if you don't think their minds are still in the cloud, you got another thing coming. They're still celebrating that big win they had last weekend. Well, while they're still celebrating that win, Miami will run roughshod over Stanford. Miami minus 28.5. That game should absolutely be a blowout. Next on the list, Iowa State and BYU. 3:30 game on Saturday. Iowa State minus 2.5 against BYU. Number 23 BYU. Iowa State 5-2. BYU is 7-0. And pure principle right here. Why are you 5-2 favored over a 7-0 football team ranked number 23 in the country? A little bit odd to me, and I know Matt Campbell does a hell of a job at Iowa State. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing and while I'm looking at this game. Saturday afternoon, 3:30, 4-unit play. Take Iowa State, the Cyclones, against BYU, and let's cash this ticket. Washington, Illinois. Washington minus 4.5. Fresh off a loss last week to Michigan. Looked awful in that game. Drove down the field twice. Turned the ball over. Of course, they end up losing big time in that game. Never come close to covering as a 4-point dog. And we gave that out as one of our plays last week. They just didn't get off the bus. Playing Illinois, last loss, they lost to Ohio State, coming off a bye week. Washington, I believe they get back home. I believe this is a get-right spot for them. 3:30 on Saturday, take the Washington Huskies as a 3-unit play, minus the 4.5 against Illinois. Let's get this one to the window and cash this ticket. Guys, Oklahoma and Mississippi. This is going to be a good one. Lane Kiffin, number 8 in the country. Oklahoma, number 13. 12 o'clock game on Saturday as it kicks off the day. 6-1 Oklahoma, 6-1 Mississippi. Mississippi, fresh off a loss, had the lead in the game. Ended up losing to Georgia last week. Georgia ended up covering the 6.5 as they scored late, I believe. I can't remember. But they did cover the 6.5 against Mississippi. Mississippi still licking those wounds. Oklahoma, nobody's talking about Oklahoma winning this conference. But Oklahoma very well may have a shot as they just continue to plug right along, keep winning every week. And this week is no different. 12 o'clock on Saturday, Madman play, 1-unit play. Take Oklahoma, number 13 Oklahoma, minus the 4 against Mississippi as they get to win and we get to cash a ticket. Auburn and Arkansas. Arkansas back at home after 2 road games. Tennessee, Texas A&M. We've seen how those games played out. Tennessee with a huge lead. I talked about Arkansas being the thorn in people's side. Take the Arkansas Razorbacks because they keep games close. They came back and scored 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, covered the game against Tennessee, played Texas A&M, getting 6.5, same thing, scored a bunch of points, thorn in their side, kept the game close late in the fourth quarter. I think they lost that game 45 to 42, 47 to 44. Anyway, 2 close games. Now they're back at home, hosting Auburn. Auburn off a heartbreaking loss to Missouri, lost it in overtime, and had an opportunity to win that game. Auburn, guys, that's hard to recover from, especially for kids. Arkansas's at home. Madman play this week. Take the Arkansas Razorbacks minus the 1.5 as a 3-unit play from the Madman Club Betting Podcast, and let's cash this ticket. Next up, Texas A&M 7-0, 5-2 LSU. LSU on the road last week. A play we gave out as Vanderbilt. They lost to Vanderbilt. This Reed kid for Texas A&M, man, he's the real deal. Texas A&M opened up as a 2.5-point favorite. This game is at 7:30 on Saturday night. LSU coming off that tough road loss against Vanderbilt. Seemed like they never could get far enough out. Vanderbilt just kept scoring, and finally Vanderbilt put it away late. LSU didn't have a chance to come back and win the game. Back at home, guys, a night game in Baton Rouge. We know what's about to happen as they start drinking on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, getting ready for that Saturday night game. They're going to be lathered up as LSU hosts Texas A&M. This will not be an easy game, as Texas A&M has had a few of this year. Tough game last week against Arkansas. This one's going to be a struggle for both sides, I believe, because I think the defenses will play better on both sides of the ball for LSU and for Texas A&M. Look for this game to be close. Texas A&M minus 2.5. I'm not going to bet against them on a night game in LSU. 2-unit play Saturday night, Baton Rouge. 2-unit play. Take them Tigers of LSU plus the 2.5, as this game could come down to the wire. And don't be surprised if LSU does not pull this outright upset on Saturday evening. Let's cash this ticket. SMU on the road playing Wake Forest. SMU, Ken Jennings is the deal, man. He's a good kid, plays good ball, has thrown a couple of terrible picks. SMU's 5-2. Wake Forest is 4-2. Wake Forest fresh off a bye. Jennings has thrown 17 TDs and 7 picks. They're the real deal. I think they got a shot. As long as they can make some headway, they got a shot to make their way into the playoffs. They got a lot of work ahead of them. However, if things can fall their way and get a shot in this ACC, they very well may have a shot to getting into the playoffs. But somebody is going to have to knock off Georgia Tech before that can happen. SMU, Saturday, 12 o'clock. They come up to Winston-Salem to play the Demon Deacons. And guys, it is time for that Madman Club Betting Podcast Dog of the Week. SMU -5 on the road against Wake Forest. And if you look at how the games have went at home, Wake Forest has showed up and showed out this year. May not win the game, but they keep them close enough to where they cover the number. Madman Club Dog of the Week. Do not be surprised if Wake Forest does not pull this outright upset this weekend. Saturday, Madman Club, 12 o'clock, play the Madman Club Dog of the Week. Take those Demon Deacons of Wake Forest plus the 5 against SMU, and don't be surprised if they pull the outright. There you go, guys. That's our college and that's our NFL plays for the week. We may add some more. We are still looking. As I said before, over on the website, you may see an extra play or two that we throw in from time to time if we run across something we really, really like. Before we go, make sure you smash that follow button. Check us out on all the social media, X, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Get over to YouTube. We've got our full podcast video over on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for everybody that subscribes to YouTube. Thank you so much for all the follows over at TikTok and the followers on all of our other platforms. Just continue to hit that follow button. Continue to hit that like button when you see those videos. And hey, if you want us to talk about something other than maybe some of these plays, you want us to talk about, again, we did our top 10 quarterback plays. We've done our rankings. If you want us to talk about some other things, if you've got a game you like and you want to have Madman take a stab at who he thinks might be your play on that game, let us know. Give us plenty of time so we can do a little research. Any kind of comments, anything you want to talk about, let us know. We're up for a discussion about anything that has to do with betting and anything that has to do with college and NFL football. For today, guys, that is a wrap from the Madman. And continue to do one thing. Bet smart and bet like a madman.